I don't know if it's just me, but every time I hear or read anything about Ari Lennox, it's usually about her complaining or whatever recent social media rant or diary session that she is doing. Rarely, if ever, about her musical career. And honestly, that is really concerning. For those of you who may not be familiar or need a refresher on one of the current leading voices in R&B and soul, DC native Courtney Salter, professionally known as Ari Lennox, started her singing career by uploading her music on the internet in the late 2000s and early 2010s, in which she eventually created her debut mixtape Five Finger Discount, quickly followed by her debut EP Ariography, both released in 2013. After being featured on rapper Omen's song Sweat It Out in 2015, she was introduced to Omen's label, the Dreamville recording team, which is founded by fellow rapper J. Cole. By December of that same year, Ari became the first woman officially signed to Dreamville and was immediately featured on the label's Revenge of the Dreamers compilation album that month as well. Throughout the next 3 years, Ari released her debut EP titled Foe under the label, as well as opened up for J. Cole on his For Your Eyes Only tour in 2017, and was featured on her label mates Earth Gang and Baza's Song in 2018, and spent the second half of 2018 gearing up for her first major studio release by dropping the songs 40 Shades of Choke, Grandpa, No One, and Pedigree, before being featured on the Creed 2 soundtrack with her breakout hit song Shea Butter Baby, officially released as a single in February 2019. The success of the song preceded the release for her debut album, also titled Shea Butter Baby, in May 2019, which went on to become a universally acclaimed album. Throughout 2019 and 2020, Ari embarked on her first headlining tour and also toured with singer Lizzo, released several songs such as Busted and Chocolate Pomegranate. In September 2021, Ari began her sophomore era by releasing the single Pressure, which was an absolute bop and was a song that became her first solo charting single on the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 66, as well as her first radio number 1 single, and reached number 3 on the R&B hip-hop airplay. What soon followed was her second album, Age SEX Location, released exactly a year later in September 2022. But despite releasing less than a handful of songs since 2022, Ari has largely maintained her notoriety, for better or for worse, from her hilarious and infamous Instagram lives and occasional X, formerly known as Twitter rants, that have teetered on the line of being both increasingly unsettling and alarming for those that are fans of Ari Lennox. Before we even touch on the 90s show Martin discourse that Ari caused to go viral most recently, I feel like it is essential to trace back to 2018, where I could pinpoint the earliest public confessions from Ari Lennox about her feelings and how the pressures of the industry has affected her at that point. On the cusp of releasing her highly anticipated debut album, Ari released a series of troubling tweets expressing her dissatisfaction with making music and her desire to step away from her music career altogether. In a few since deleted tweets, Ari said, "I don't see how I could ever be happy doing music again. I don't want to write and I don't want to listen to any beats. I don't want to perform. I think I'm literally done. Never thought I could feel that way, but I do. So I guess I'm resigning. Hopefully God could give me happiness and peace because I feel so far from it. This has nothing to do with music. I'm not mentally okay. I don't know if I will ever be. I literally have nothing kind of sweet to give to music. I have nothing more to write. It's sad because I recognize how close I am, but my heart is so tired. It'd be your own mind. I love and adore the people I work with. They're perfect. This has nothing to do with them." Though I am not exactly sure what prompted these set of tweets, I'm thankful Ari decided to push through to eventually release her album the following year. After releasing her universally acclaimed debut album, Shea Butter Baby, in 2019, Ari earned several accolades and received multiple nominations at the November 2019 Soul Train Music Awards, which included Best Female R&B Soul Artist, Album of the Year, and Best Collaboration Performance. Unfortunately, Ari lost all of those categories to singer Her, Lizzo's 'Cause I Love You album, and Chris Brown and Drake respectively. Immediately following her disappointing losses, Ari took to social media and since deleted posts to express her frustrations by saying, "You know what I realized? People who genuinely F with me understand my frustration. People who are self-hating haters clearly have never given my music a chance, got the biggest problem with me always. No one will have to worry about me complaining after this current complaint. LOL, what I will not do is ever be this depressed again. It's not just an award, it wasn't any award show, it was a Soul Train Awards. As you can see, I'm a big fan of soul music and a huge fan of Soul Train's history. Being snubbed was something I always expected and was definitely prepared for it, just not by them. My intent was to never shade any other nominees. I'm hurt and I don't expect soulless haters to understand that. Every time I wrap my head around it, I just can't accept it. It feels like a breakup. I made a soulful album. I never ran from who I am. I just expected that one platform to understand that. It takes a lot of energy to do these things, and ultimately, this was a hard loss for me. I don't care about PR and being some fake doll baby to the masses. I'll remain thorough about my feelings. My intent is never to annoy people who clearly don't F with me. I don't be asking these shady blogs to post what I write. Me being honest doesn't make me less gracious or less star worthy. I'm not selling out, so I quit. To those annoyed with me, you got it. I won't lose my mind over this ish. I will save my sanity first. Tired of being annoying, tired of being annoyed. I just ain't built like the rest of them. This ish ain't for me. Clear, I'm not cool enough, not trendy enough, and I don't care to be. I don't strive for that. I'm not going to chase this ish ever again. No more fake ish on my part. In this situation, it was not hard for me to feel compassion for Ari because no one wants to be snubbed for an event or award that they dedicated their whole lives to. For Ari's first major award show, in the genre where she poured her entire soul, literally and figuratively, into, I completely understand her frustrations and appreciate her transparency, which I'm sure a lot of other artists could possibly relate to as well. A few weeks later, literally on New Year's Day 2020, a loser on Twitter felt it in his heart to disrespect both Teyana Taylor and Ari Lennox by tweeting, Ari Lennox and Teyana Taylor's ability to have dangerously high sex appeal while simultaneously looking like Rottweilers will always amaze me. Ari responded by saying, people hate blackness so bad, and Teyana retweeted Ari's tweet by saying, no lies detected. In a follow-up tweet, Ari added that, moms and dads, please love on your beautiful black children. Tell them that they're beautiful constantly. Tell them black people are beautiful. Tell them black features are beautiful. Later that same evening, Ari hopped on Instagram Live to further express her disappointment with the misogyny and the disturbing, comfortable levels of disrespect people have increasingly shown towards black women.
I'm not fucking with that shit, like, at all. Like, how people hate black people so much, how black people can sit up here and say that's not my problem. Or she does look like a Rottweiler. That's fine. That's fine. But and you want to talk about how, oh, people are so sensitive. They want us to cancel freedom of speech. Why is this your speech? Why are you so comfortable tearing down black women and no other race? Look around. Look around. When are Hispanic women ever compared to dogs? When do they do that? When do they do that to white women? When are white men doing that to white women? When are Hispanic men doing that to Hispanic women? They're not doing it. They're not. Like, and how come as a black woman, me sticking up for it, I'm a Zelia? Like, bruh, like, it's insane. It's insane to me that you're right. Like, that is real freedom of speech being threatened. That's real speech being threatened. You know what I'm saying?
Ari concluded her live by saying, I made this live because I want people to know I really do love myself. I love my nose. I love black features. I want us to get to a point where we are becoming aware of the self-hate sometimes when you are referring to black women as a dog, because we're not doing this to other races or other black women who don't have a nose like this. There are really no words to describe how disgusting that tweet was, but I admire Ari using her platform at the time to call it the audacity and to also serve as a voice of protection for herself and fellow black women. I aligned with this user that spoke of the situation in which they said, people are missing Ari Lennox's point on purpose. She wasn't just crying about the comments made towards her. She was upset about the disrespectful things black women, particularly with darker skin, hear and endure on a daily basis. Why are y'all like this for real? Trigger warning ahead, so please skip. In January 2021, Ari Lennox responded to one of her followers on Instagram in which they asked, Ari, why is there cuts on your arm? In which Ari responded by saying, hey babe, these are actually from high school. I was going to delete and re-upload, but they're my warrior scars. Don't worry, I'm fine. Later that same year, in November 2021, Ari made headlines when it was reported that she was arrested at an Amsterdam airport for disturbing public order due to aggressive behavior, in which Ari accused the airline staff of racial discrimination. Ari kept her supporters updated on her detainment on Twitter, in which she tweeted, F Amsterdam security, they hate black people. They're arresting me. I'm being arrested in Amsterdam for reacting to a woman racially profiling me. Racism. Wow, Amsterdam. I'm horrified. I was so happy to travel, and this evil woman. I've never experienced racism so blatant. I just want to go home. I'll never leave my house again. Hey loves, I'm safe. Thank you so much for your prayers and love. In December 2021, Ari performed at Afrochella in the country Ghana. After her performance, it seemed Ari took a social media break while she spent a few additional days in Ghana to get some well-deserved R&R. Upon her return to social media, Ari shared a few tidbits about her experience in Ghana, in which she said, wow, it's a rare and good feeling to consistently wake up with peace and happiness. I really owe that to Ghana. And I don't know how long it'll last, but I'll cling on to this. Depression and anxiety is not fun. It's truly nice to get a break from it. I'll never forget suddenly crying the first time going to a beach in Ghana. It was so triggering, and I didn't feel alone. My heart aches for my ancestors. It was a surreal experience. Yes, Ghana is the most beautiful country in the world. Ari's thoughts oddly led to a few trolls bullying Ari, in which two people said, "Are your ancestors even from Ghana?" And another person that said, "I'm back again. This woman thinks she's in Wakanda. This is too corny. Oh my gosh." The backlash seemingly led to Ari Lennox deleting her initial tweets, which led to her later response in which Ari said, "This internet is just such a lie." In which someone asked, "Why did you delete that tweet, Queen? It was so refreshing to see." In which Ari responded, "I don't like being the mod for any type of divisiveness. Honestly, I'm over Twitter." A few weeks later, or actually just a little over 1 week later, that same January, Ari once again found herself being the victim of someone practically verbally attacking her unprovoked, in which she participated in a podcast interview hosted by South African podcaster Mac G. The interview quickly went left field and turned sour when the host, out of nowhere, asked the most asinine question about her status in the bedroom, referencing her 2019 song Pop.
What are we at right now? Is someone fucking you good right now?
Oh my married? God! Whoa there. I'm not having. Whoa, that's a wild question. Why that way? Why ask it that way? Whoa.
Because that's what you say in the song. You know what I mean? I love that part.
When did I say that? I said it in the song.
Yeah. Don't you remember the song?
I do, but I didn't. Oh, I guess I did say that. I did say that. Let me. Okay, you caught me off guard there, but I did say that, but no.
The unbelievably crass question left Ari and those who watched the clip understandably puzzled. But what was even more puzzling was that the many South Africans online who went on to harass Ari, claiming that the question was just based off the song Pop and that she previously released it, so it's all on her. Immediately after the interview, Ari took to Twitter, of course, to express her dismay with how the interview was handled by the host and her team, in which she said, "I'm just like, why was I alone on a call full of people? Why didn't anyone intervene? And why wasn't parts of the interview destroyed like the team promised? Why did it happen to begin with? I just feel slow and ambushed and blindsided. Honestly, it's all my karma. I've been my most happiest creating music and exploring life sober. I'm not allowing anything to tamper with my peace anymore. But F it, I don't want anyone feeling sorry for me. I'm tired of the narrative, exhausted. I'm good, I promise. But as for interviews, I'm not doing them anymore. There's enough lives and interviews out there already. Just because I happily and freely sing and write about sex doesn't make any kind of creepy disrespect warranted. I clearly was in immense shock and hate that I didn't react differently." A few days later, Ari continued her rant by saying, "And when I said I felt like this was my karma, I'm aware I've said some incredibly insensitive and dumb-ish in the past. No need to keep reminding me of the regret I feel every day. No one is bullying me into deleting my tweets. I've had enough of giving clout to losers, and sometimes I just like a clean slate. I've been this way all my life. Social media is a traumatizing, unhealthy place. You are only accepted here if you're perfect and seemingly happy at all times, when every single life knows that's not realistic. People cry, people complain, people are mad in real life. I just never cared to be a fake ass girl." Although Mac G went on to publicly apologize to Ari for his tasteless question, tension with another popular South African social media personality reignited in April 2022 when the username Mr. Smeg tweeted, "Hey Ari Lennox, you are beautiful and I love your music. When are you coming to South Africa?" In which Ari Lennox responded by saying, "No thanks, Smegma, your entire existence is nauseating." Now you may wonder what prompted such a vicious response from Ari, but considering how we all know at this point how chronically online Ari is, it was immediately clear that she remembered Mr. Smeg's old tweet from a few months prior, in which he said, "Ari Lennox is not beautiful." In which Ari responded by saying, "These trolls are relentless. 4 months straight, they won't stop bothering me. To all of my beautiful supporters in South Africa, I love you dearly. To these weird, obsessed, evil individuals, I pray you get therapy for your obsession of me." At this point, it's literally two different worlds that will never understand where each other is coming from. I clap back, and now people want to assume I'm coming for the entire country. That's never my intent, but it won't matter to those fixated on hating me. Black Twitter has been calling me ugly for years. It don't hurt like it once did. I recognize beauty standards vary, and lots of self-hate and oppression can play a big part in that. To my new troll fans, there's not much more you could say. F this, some folks would choose to remain stupid. I hope everyone has a beautiful day. This is honestly a lot. But that same spring, Ari celebrated turning 31, and she hopped on Twitter to once again share how that particular birthday was the most depressing birthday she has ever had. Ari said, "I'm not effing with my 30s. I'm not effing with life. You can give and give and give and give and be trash as soon as someone doesn't get their way, as soon as they want whatever it is they want." To recognize that those friends were never friends at all, those loved ones were never loved ones, it's a heartbreaking reality. And many people that gave a F aren't here anymore. You think you have all this time and you simply don't. It feels nice to say it's almost been 4 months since I've had a drink, but the world is effing trying me right now. It's amazing the difference a year can make. To have friends steal from you, friends quit on you the day before a show, to have people threaten you, I'm so effing tired. Probably the most depressing birthday to date. Thanks everyone for being so sweet though. A few months later in July 2022, Ari took to her Instagram to notify her followers of her fear of flying on planes and how this would possibly affect her career moving forward. Ari said, "For my mental health and sanity, I will not be doing any shows that require me to fly. I cannot keep torturing myself with this huge fear of mine. It is literally destroying my health. Enough is enough. I'm so sorry to all that are inconvenienced by this. Don't know what this would mean for my career, but I just can't do it. On the plane to Minneapolis now, I'll be there. If there's any peers or anyone out there who knows of a great hypnotherapist, or a fear of flying solutions, I would be so grateful. I want to beat this." A year later, in July 2023, Ari updated her supporters on Instagram of her health journey that she was celebrating 7 months of sobriety, which is a huge accomplishment. Ari said, 7 months sober, that's a lot of sober flights, a lot of sober conversations, a lot of facing things raw and head on. Honestly, I don't know what will happen when I reach a year sober. I have less anxiety socially, and when I'm ready to go, I go. I recognize my threshold with things and implement boundaries. Accepting help and realizing I'm not the best traveler on my own has been a game changer. So now I have help and that helps. Having help is okay. A month later, Ari took to her Twitter account once again to share her struggles with loving herself, in which she said, "I hate that I crave validation in every ounce of my life. It is truly a miserable existence. I hate that I wish I was cool. I'm embarrassing. I don't know when I'll ever start loving myself. I don't know if it's possible. I can't even enjoy all that I've created for myself." In November 2023, Ari posted a video discussing her feelings about getting a nose job and how the shape of her nose has affected her growing up.
Really like my nose. Like, I had to really ask myself when somebody was like, because Maury, he did something stupid on Twitter, and he was like, this man, he had large nostrils, and on Maury's account it said, "Oh, we knows who the father is," or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, and I was like, Maury, and I was so triggered and offended. And so one of these blog sites reposted what I said, and some girl in the comment was like, "It's going to be a great day when she really starts liking herself." And I was like, how could she tell? I had doubts about myself through me being triggered by Maury saying what he said about this man. So I felt a way like, bitch, like, why does that have to, what's that supposed to mean? But no, I do think it was a valid, like, why is that okay for people to, I don't know, make fun of people with large nostrils? Sometimes not feeling like I belong, because I thought, well, maybe my nose is like that of like Ghanaian, or like maybe I'm like West African, and then just hearing like people say.
A few days later, while out on tour with rapper Rod Wave, Ari was on stage singing when she was disrespectfully hit with an object that was thrown on stage.
Don't fucking play with me. Stop that shit. I'll fuck you up. Who did it? Who the fuck did it? Who the fuck did it? I'll fuck your ass up. Cause I'm gonna say that I'm a real ass bitch and I will fuck your shit all the way the fuck up. Don't you ever disrespect a beautiful black woman on the fucking stage like that. I will fucking fuck you up. That's the fuck right. You did it, bitch.
A few shows later, Ari jokingly came on stage wearing a helmet in which she claimed was for protection to avoid objects being thrown.
Hold up. What's up, Oakland?
Hey, Ari!
My name is Ari Lennox, and
We know!
I don't know, should I keep this shit on or what?
At the top of the new year in January 2024, Ari took to Instagram Live to speak on her uncomfortable experience being on that tour with Rod Wave.
I was never comfortable. I just remember every show just racing to get off stage, racing to get through my set. And then I found a spot where I was comfortable, and I started trying to communicate with the audience. And then when I realized they were getting angry at me affirming them, I was like, okay, this is you're getting angry that I'm affirming you. This is not my crowd, and it'll never be. And that's all right. That's all right, you know what I mean? So it was tough. Like, it was tough, and it was heavy on my soul, like, feeling that energy. Especially the day when the bottle happened, because that side of the stage, like, I felt the energy. I wasn't surprised that it happened. I felt it. It was, first of all, it was just all darkness.
Many people online were very confused why someone like Ari would even be out on tour Rod Wave, considering that they have two completely different sounds and two different fan bases. Like this user said, Ari Lennox should have never been out on that tour Rod Wave. Two different artists with different energies and different fan bases. Ari should be on her own tour, touring with R&B neo-soul artists. I personally would have pictured Ari on tour opening up for someone like Mary J. Blige or Brandy and Monica. Despite her upsetting experience on tour, Ari spoke to Angela Yee to defend her decisions to go out on tour Rod Wave.
Like, you know, some fans, I love them, but some of them, they sometimes think they're helping by, you know, being mad at my label, like, why'd you put her on that tour? I'm like, I asked to be on this tour. Well, Rod offered it to me, but I gladly accepted. This man gave me a job. He gave me an opportunity to close out the year with a nice, beautiful employment. So I am not, like, I know what I'm doing. Like, I know our music is different, but it's still helping me grow in, like, so many ways. So it's just like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. Like, let me do it. Let me figure out my life. And so sometimes I feel like my fans, they want to, like, baby me or they want me to be, like, entitled.
A month later, there was a photo circulating on a blog of a young lady who people felt looked similar to Ari Lennox. Once Ari caught wind of the comparison, she spoke on the presumed doppelganger during her hour-long Instagram live. Certain blogs posted clips of her live where Ari mentioned that she and the girl looked nothing alike, which soon led Ari receiving backlash for her comments.
I try to do a sweet little thing, like, hey, we look alike, but I don't think me and her really look alike. I don't think we look alike. But then I posted, and then I tried to execute, like, you know, I try to look like her, and then I posted her picture. People thought that was me. So, I don't know.
Ari then responded to the backlash by posting a lengthy caption to clarify her initial comments. I don't know when so many weak, low IQ people decide to start hating me for stating my own opinion on things. I had an amazing live yesterday that was filled with so much positivity, including posting this beautiful woman on my profile. She actually encouraged me to put on some makeup and look pretty and feel good about myself because she looks so good. You took a snippet like all of you weak blogs do, Shade Room, Neighborhood Talk, Live Bites, whatever, and leave me to your low IQ self-hating wolves of a fan base to obliterate me. You guys will never effing understand what I've been through. I may complain about so much ish that you and your low IQ minds perceive as minuscule, but you have no idea what I deal with in private every time you continue to shut me down for saying anything publicly. You all literally can't wait to hate me. I thought I was doing a positive thing and thought it would be cool to show this beautiful woman some love. And that was even met with hate. When did y'all decide to hate me so bad? Was it for knowing my worth? Y'all hate me for stating my opinion. The truth is, I think she is prettier than me. Maybe that's why I do not think we look alike, and that's just how I feel. All of you could literally choke on tonight. Complaining about me complaining is a complete Twilight Zone hell. 2 months later, the hip-hop world was shook when things kicked off between Drake and Kendrick Lamar's battle. If we all remember, in the early stages of the battle, J. Cole released and later deleted his 7-minute drill diss record to Kendrick, in which he also publicly apologized to him at his Dreamville festival last year. Many hip-hop personalities had plenty to say about the whole ordeal, but one person in particular, Joe Budden, managed to find a way to invoke Ari's name in the drama that she had no part of. Joe said,
I don't want to hear no more about that record. It sounded like he didn't mean it. His voice was trembling like he didn't mean it. His choice of words as one of the greatest lyricists says he didn't mean it. I don't want to hear an epic peep out of Earthstone Twitter. Cole is on that. Y'all think I'd be playing with the Ari Lennox, Scotty. They all do that earthy college campus grassroots-ish. If you listen to J. Cole's raps, he just been trying to be the best effing, the best rapper, the best MC. But you gotta listen to the dude's story. It's been college life.
In response, Ari posted an old video of Joe Budden getting hit in the head when he was on the show Love and Hip Hop, with a separate note that said, knocked your little glasses off and everything. Keep my precious name out of your psychotic, animal abusing, women terrorizing, demonic trolling, nicotine encased mouth.
All this meth smoke for a woman, but not for any man beating you in real life. When the Rod Wave tour situation happened, Joe offered his commentary on the ordeal, much to the dismay of Ari, in which she later commented on by saying, "I don't know what Joe Budden's obsession is with me, but what I will say is that somebody needs to tell him to stop touching them dogs. He's weird and he's gross. He has smoke mouth. He's disgusting and he's a failure," like Drake said. "Everything I do, there's a million people to talk about in life. Like, I can never just express what's going on with me without him coming from behind the landfill that he lives in to say something. And I do not know why. He's disgusting. And I know in my heart that his breath stinks. Maybe I have to sue him. Is that what I have to do? Like, get on my Cardi B-ish and spend the bread to shut his smoke mouth up?" In October 2024, Ari Lennox made shocking headlines when she announced on her Instagram that she wanted out of her Dreamville Interscope contract. After concluding her interview with The Terrell Show, Ari expressed her disappointment with how the interview turned out and requested her team to scrap the interview. Additionally, Ari also released a new single at the time titled Smoke and accused her team of refusing to properly promote it and offer any marketing. In the 18-minute Instagram Live, Ari discussed how she doesn't like being propped up as the face of mental health and how she is no longer enjoying being in the industry. In the post, Ari said, "Interscope and Dreamville have been playing with me all month and I'm so exhausted. I'm so tired of people treating me like they're sorry for me and like I'm the face of mental health. I'm okay and I've never been happier. What I don't like is being signed and lied to and manipulated. Not one person at those labels ever knew how to market or protect me. Y'all don't know the half. Constant letdown and neglect. This industry stuff will never be for me."
I kind of just feel like, why am I doing this? It's not fun. It is not fun. It's not fun. It's not. I loved every moment of making the music that I made this year, but I'm just like, I refuse to drop an album that no one's going to listen to or that my label is not going to promote or market. You can't have a successful artist and not spend a dime marketing them. I'm grateful that Interscope paid for that music video, for 2 music videos. I'm really grateful, but that's not where it should have ended. They could have advertised my video, and I'm left to feel embarrassed. And then so many balls have been dropped, lots of freaking balls just dropped. Like, nah, I'm good. So that's how I feel right now. That's how I fucking feel right now. Like, I couldn't even leave Instagram if I fucking wanted to.
Artists like T-Pain spoke up in support of Ari by saying, "Every single word. You sound exactly like me in 2018 when I decided to take the leap to independence. Baby, I need to talk to you. I want to at least throw out some suggestions from experience on how I navigated from being supported by a label to fully independent. It's effing tough as ish, but you're so talented and smart. I knew if I just gave you a little perspective from recent experience, it'll at least spark something that you can take and absolutely kill this ish on your own and be your own boss. Please DM me." In April of this year, Ari made headlines once again when it was announced that she has finally left Dreamville and will be signed directly to Interscope. It seems the split was amicable given that she performed at the final Dreamville Festival this year and thanked J. Cole for making her dreams a reality in 2015. Now fast forward to more recently, Ari made a post regarding her feelings of the 90s comedy show Martin by expressing how certain jokes with the dynamic between the characters Martin and Pam made her uncomfortable to watch.
The thing that pissed me off about Martin was how much he would go on Pam. Like, I know, like, and this is coming from a girl who I love me a good, like, joking ass movie. And it, even when the joking movie is like, damn, like, that was fucked up. Like, you know, I'm not, like, too woke or something is what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm honestly not, I'm problematic. I'm pretty problematic, low key. But my point is that there are some things where I draw the line and it just bothered me. Or, like, I don't know, it's like, Pam was so fucking beautiful and so fine. And I just feel like growing up as a chocolate girl, like, I don't even know if I was able to understand the greatness of Pam because of the light that I feel like I was being fed. You know what I'm saying? Like, of just, like, always going on Pam, always, like, that's all I remember. And I didn't like that. But, like, so I feel conflicted because while I feel like the show is incredible and I feel like Martin is a legendary show and all of the actors and Tommy and, like, everybody, like, legendary, amazing. Like, I adore them all. Like, you have no idea. And I adore Martin. Like, I adore him. It just would piss me off, like, the joking on Pam. I just didn't like that, you know? Like, I'll always kind of feel a way about that.
There were many people online who both supported and criticized Ari's comments, in which some users mentioned, Ari Lennox is a beautiful woman with a nice voice, but seriously complains about everything. I've heard more about her complaining than I've heard about her touring, dropping music, etc. Another person said, overanalyzing black sitcoms from the 90s while saying nothing about all the degenerate, dysfunctional, violent garbage taking place on reality TV is crazy work. And another person that said, it's crazy to me how all of Black Twitter has had discussion about the dark-skinned friend being the butt of the jokes in black sitcoms for years and the root of it, but since Ari Lennox decided to speak on it, suddenly she's insecure and needs to seek therapy. You all just hate her. Ari eventually responded to the backlash she received in the video, in which she said,
"You to speak my mind and happily y'all off in the process. If I had ill intent, I would have came on here with a PowerPoint presentation that backs my claims on the types of jokes Martin used on Pam being wildly offensive. That will never be my intent or motive. But I will stand on business forever knowing them jokes was wild. And I don't say any of this with any desire to rewrite history. Those actors and actresses are legends, and I meant no harm to them. I don't need any army of people defending me or agreeing with me. That has always been a rare occurrence for me. But I feel amazing in knowing that I will validate myself and my feelings before I look to you or yours. Sorry, there we go. This is why it's read. Sorry. I'm going to reread that part. But I feel amazing in knowing that I will validate myself and my feelings before I look to you for yours. I'm also aware that people have been called worse things by people they love and by their enemies. So maybe their experience with Martin was special and therapeutic and unique to them. I never was a fan of roasting, period, as I am a very sensitive, and I will for sure drag somebody to hell every time. But we were just playing, right? Absolutely not.
A few days later, Ari doubled down by offering her critique on the Bernie Mac show, much to the dismay of some members in the black community.
I like to talk, y'all, and I like to think. Hell, I just watched the Bernie Mac stand-up a few years back, and I understand why he is a legend that he is, but I also couldn't help but to feel uncomfortable about some of his jokes, too.
There were people on social media who commented on the situation by saying, I just feel like Ari Lennox talking about what she finds offensive on live is no different than the daily thoughts we express on here. I don't think this should be a thing for real. And another person that said, I think it's her volunteering critiques constantly on things not involving music that's getting on people's nerves. There are plenty of problematic singers that she won't say a peep about. Going after Martin and Bernie Mac for 20 to 30-year-old material, for what? And another person that said, Ari Lennox seems like the type to suck all the laughter out of the room when she walks in. In which someone else responded by saying, Ari Lennox and Wale walk into a room, who's killing the vibes first? Honestly, I never watched the show Martin, as I was more of a Jamie Foxx show type of girl, so I can't really speak on the types of possibly offensive jokes that Martin featured in his show. But from the little I do know, it seemed like every character on that show got joked on and clowned. Whether it was Gina for having a big head, or Cole for being treated as dumb or undesirable, or Tommy for being chronically unemployed, or Pam for having bad breath, or Martin for being short, I think the show followed the generic formula of the main male character having a contentious dynamic with his wife's best friend, all for the sake of entertainment. But considering that the wife was light-skinned and the best friend was brown or dark-skinned, one could feel as if that Pam, the best friend, was unfairly receiving the most offensive jokes. Either way, I consider that show a product of its time, and taking into account Martin Lawrence's comedic style, as well as the comedic style of Bernie Mac, I personally have not taken their jokes to heart, but who am I to say that someone else wouldn't find their jokes offensive as well? I felt it was critical to provide this timeline of Ari's relationship with social media and how her years of struggling with her self-esteem, appearance, industry pressures, mental health, and other personal struggles have affected her, because it offers a little bit more context and insight into why Ari may have felt this way about the show Martin. Everyone is going to view content in the media a tad bit differently due to their own experiences, so it is unfair to judge Ari for how her perspective has been shaped due to the shows she watched growing up and the other experiences she has yet to disclose. Ari is an extremely talented woman, and I hope Interscope does not give up on her and continues to give her the space and resources she needs to thrive, because I do think there is still a lane for her in R&B, as she offers a unique sound to a genre that I truly love. Although things did not work out for her in Dreamville, I don't think she has even reached her peak. But my hope for her is that there is room in the budget to hire a social media manager so that she can once and for all stop using social media as her diary. Please let me know in the comments what you all think of Ari Lennox's career up until this point, and what do you think is next for her? Do you think she has reached her peak, or has she yet to reach her fullest potential? What do you think of the timeline of events we highlighted in this video? And if you think her experiences provide any explanation to her comments about Martin and Bernie Mac, what do you all think about the state of R&B currently? Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn your notification bell, and I'll see you next time.